Today I'm going to be walking you through FLORA Techniques. This was a feature released a couple of weeks ago. FLORA is busy running a competition in partnership with Contra on this, and I wanted to show you some of the techniques I've built, how you can build them, and show you some of the techniques that have been built by other creatives in various different industries and niches, so you can understand exactly how you can use these to produce higher quality creative work faster inside FLORA. So here we are inside FLORA, and if you go to the Techniques tab, you land in the library. Here you can scan or you can browse all sorts of different techniques in different industries, different niches, and it basically allows you to templatize your workflow. So if you've built out a big canvas and you have a specific workflow within that, you can then templatize that into a technique. That will allow you to then run it separately, where you just drop in the input images and it spits out an output, whether that's images or video or text. So going through a couple of these, this is a technique I built a couple of weeks ago. This was a concept for Nike. It wasn't a literal Nike job, but the output here is a product lookbook. So it's one image with four different blocks within it. And I took a model image and a product image, and then this here is the technique. You can build a technique up at the top here, and I'll show you exactly how to do that in a moment. But that is essentially what it does. This original workflow was multiple steps, and it's basically condensed it into one simple workflow. This was a technique I built earlier today. It's a movie promo poster and animation. Somewhat novel, but the reason I built this is I've been wanting to create a filmmaking series about escapism for a while. One of the biggest problems with AI filmmaking is how overwhelming it can be. So you would often have this idea in your mind of a film or a story you want to tell, but it can be so overwhelming to get that vision in your head onto paper and build it out from start to finish. So I thought, what if I could just jump ahead to the step where I'm imagining my film being released in cinemas by creating this movie poster. And it was as simple as using myself as the main actor, dropping in a question or a statement at the top of the poster, including the name of the movie, Escapism. And then this is obviously dummy text down here, but it resembles a movie poster. And for me, this obviously is not the same as AI filmmaking, but it's that step where I can at least visualize what it is that I want to build as if it was going to be released inside cinemas. And this alone has inspired me to want to build this out, this simple little process. So what that looks like is this. I've got this cringy selfie of myself. I dropped in the title of the movie, which in this case is just the logo Escapism, and it produced both a static movie poster, which I was really impressed with. I'll show you the steps I took to get to this, as well as a movie poster animation, which I thought was pretty cool. Looks cinematic, it's nothing fancy. I could definitely improve on this, but I feel like this alone has inspired me to want to build out this series. So this is what this looks like in terms of building the workflow. I took inspiration from the Moonlight movie poster, which I really liked. I then described that in detail using a text node. Again, took these cringy selfie images. I removed the background, and then I started prompting it to try and replicate the Moonlight poster. And you can see here the various different iterations I went through. Some of these were okay. It was often missing the plot with having like separate faces. I wanted one face with different light effects across the face. Started getting slightly better results here, but then I decided to try again with a slightly different approach. Took the movie name or the logo, again, taking that image of myself as the actor, and this is where I started seeing results. So I had a pretty detailed prompt, which essentially described the movie poster I wanted in a similar style to the Moonlight poster, but with my own twist. And I was really happy with this. I then threw this into Kling 3.0 to produce the animation with a very basic prompt. Again, this took a couple of variations to get to that point, but that then produced the technique that I wanted. But exactly how do you build a technique? So you literally, once you build out your workflow from start to finish, you go in the top here, technique builder, we'll close the Fauna tab and you hit start building. Then you select your inputs. So this is what goes into it. So once you've built this out, if anyone wants to use your technique, they would just drop in their own inputs, hit run, and it'll produce the end output. So you can literally just select your inputs. You can add a description for each. Not vitally important, but it just helps to direct whoever is using your technique. Hit continue, and then you select the output. So in this case, I just want these two as outputs, the static movie poster and the animated one. And then you would describe, so here you can change the name to static movie poster. You can add a description of what it's going to output, and then you hit continue, and you name your technique. You add a description, so turn an actor headshot and movie name into a movie poster, something along those lines. It tells you how many credit costs it takes. That depends on which models you're using and how many generations there are. You can select the thumbnail, the category, tags so that it's more searchable. Right now, you can only keep it unlisted or in a workspace, but you can share these in the FLORA Techniques library, and then you hit publish. So it's as simple as that. And I've had really a ton of fun trying to build these out. Some novel ideas, some much more useful when it comes to product development, ad campaigns. You can really go wild in terms of what you can build with this. So let's have a look at some of the other techniques built by other creatives. Here we have a scene continuity lock. So this would be really useful for filmmaking. Again, if you have one scene that you've built, you then drop in the hero frame and it'll produce these different outputs. So hero frame, detail, close-up shot, establishing wide shot, reverse or reaction shot, and a transition shot. This is super useful for continuity of your filmmaking and not necessarily just filmmaking. You could do this with anything you're building, where you could build out a set of different scenes that all look consistent and maintain that consistency from one scene to the next. This was built by Claudia, by the way, and was one of the submissions for the FLORA Contra competition. Then we have this character identity generation, again, super useful for filmmaking. So you can drop in a character sketch and it'll produce various different scenes, maintaining the character, the environment. This is really useful if you want to go into filmmaking and maintain consistency of characters. Then we have Dreamscape. I found this one to be pretty cool. It's focused on tech and SaaS hero sections, that's software as a service. So you can drop in one image and produce 6 others that could be used as like a background on a website header. Again, something novel that you might not have thought of, but really useful within that context. And again, all you need here is just one input image. Then we have a Product Orbit 360. This is more on the commercial side. So if you work with e-commerce brands or consumer products, this is pretty useful to do like a 360 animation of a product. And it's literally as simple as dropping in one product image and then getting various different outputs that you can use in ad campaigns, social media content. Possibilities are pretty endless here. I really like this one, something a little different. It's a brand engine built by Syed Shahab. And you can see the inputs and outputs here. So you'd include a creative brief and a an image reference as your input, and it'll produce strategy compiler, prompt compiler, hero render, supporting render, and extension render. And that's what this would look like. So it's basically taking a process that would take multiple different nodes, different generations, and quite a long process, and just distilled it into one simple workflow. Then we have UGC Performance Engine, so an AI video system. This was built by Gilberto Riveros. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And you can essentially drop in your UGC ads framework. So UGC is user-generated content, great for product marketing, and it'll produce various different UGC ads for you just with that one input. So this is not a technique, but it's a good example of how you could build a technique. And particularly, again, for filmmaking, I wanted to generate cinematic scenes here. So I used an element which basically allows you to create a consistent character. It allows you to do a number of things, but it locks in that character. So again, I used myself as a character. I uploaded various different photos of myself, and it produced these images, some of them great, some of them not so great, but various different cinematic scenes of myself in random cinematic scenarios, which you could then use to build out either a story or a concept. If you wanted to turn this into a technique, you could upload your characters on the left here and then generate these different scenes. And then by using the build technique feature, you can use your input images of your actor and then produce, 10, 20 different cinematic scenes. These are all obviously of different environments, but if you want to get very consistent and build out a set of images where that's maintained, you can absolutely do that. So I hope this was useful, just giving you a better idea of how you can use techniques, how other creatives are using techniques. This feature's only been out for a couple of weeks, and it's only going to get better and better. There's a few things I would love to be able to tweak within this, subtle variations, and maybe have a drop-down menu of different elements you can change within the technique to produce a very specific result for whatever it is that you're building. But I hope this was useful. If you have any questions about techniques, drop them down below. I'll include links down below if you want to try these techniques for yourself inside FLORA. And I want to thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.